A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Today we will be talking about the second element of culture, the second universal element of culture, the Miraj, the ladder of humanity, the Miraj of Insaniyat, Miraj Insaniyat. Actually, language is the key to the world culture. It's a system of symbols that allow people to communicate with one another. The value of language and Helen Keller 1880 to 1968 will be an interesting topic for those who wants to know that how language play its dominant or single-handed role in the creation, development and transmission of a culture. Our language is our identification and keep line share in the introductory touch of our culture. How Helen Keller knew that WATER meant the wonderful, cool something that was flowing over her hand. She says that living world awakened my soul, gave it light, hope, joy, and set it free. The language is not only the world of few alphabets, it's a source of cultural transmission. Culture from one generation to other generation is transmitted through language. Language actually creates culture. It helps, it support in creation of culture. And secondly, it's a carrying vehicle which carries the culture from one generation to another generation, from one community to another community, from one society to another society. Language of bodily gestures also plays very dominant role in human society. The gesture or the bodily language gesture, that is thumb up in USA, means appreciating something, while the same symbol, the same language, gesture language in Greek, Persia, or in Middle East is a kind of abuse, and people mind it and take it very seriously. Language is the key that unlocks centuries of accumulated wisdom. This is the source of language which keep us in contact with Holy Quran, the sacred book, the book of wisdom. If there would not have been language, then there was no way of human being to contact with this wisdom of heaven. The same way, if you are contacted with old Greeks, philosophers, this is the language. If we are contacted with the systems, political systems of the world, this is the language which help us to contact with them. If we want to know the current affairs, what's going on in contemporary history around us, this is the language which help us and a kind of facilitator in knowing these things. If there would not have been language, then we might be in no connection with these cultures, with these system, with this wisdom, with this a great message from heavens. Therefore, language is extremely important element of human culture and source of creation, development, and transmission of human culture. Spire-Wolf thesis says that people see and understand the world through cultural lens of language. This means that if I am Urdu speaker and I am from Pakistani culture, I will see an event or a thing in USA from my thinking. This according to this theory, which has been challenged and now it's under huge criticism as well. But each and every culture is judged by the different spoken languages people in different way. There will be same thing, but the Spanish will be looking at that from another angle. The same event, the same tangible culture, Russian have different viewpoint of that. The Americans have another different viewpoint. Other Europeans have their own way. Asians, Middle East, Far East, all these cultures, international cultures, have their own viewpoint according to the theory of Spire-Wolf thesis or theory of Spire-Wolf. Coming back to language once again, the great language reflect the greatness, decency, and softness of our culture. Look here how the language of Holy Quran attract as a leader of languages, and this we can judge if we are Arabian and we understand Arabic, and then we will be in position to understand the comprehensiveness or the impact of the language of Quran. But otherwise too, if we go through the following verse, it will blow our mind that how impact creating message this language give very decently to the humanity. With the name of Allah, the all merciful, the very merciful. O Prophet, surely we have given to you all Kauthar, a river in paradise. So offer salah, prayer, to your Lord and sacrifice. Surely it's your enemy whose traces are cut off. What a beautiful way. But especially when you are Arabian and you understand Arabic, you are native of that language and of that history, when poetry had special position in that community of Arabs. These verses were really challenging verses, and they were shown on Kaaba Sharif for many days, and no poet of huge caliber poets were there, but no one was there to retaliate, to give answer or to give response or to give verses in competition to these verses. How beautifully it is said in Holy Quran, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Inna atayna kal kosar, fasalli li rabbika wanhar, inna shaniyaka huwal abtar. This is the great language, the language of decency, the language of greatness, the language which is very much clear and straightforward messages of wisdom. And we all can try and we can copy this language. We can go through Quran, we can think over it, and we can develop our society, a united society, a united international community with the same system and with a great language, with decent languages, with good languages, as one human beings. Thank you very much for today. We will be meeting soon, inshallah, in our next lecture.